Another comment that I want to make related to hearing God's voice versus knowing the Bible. Oftentimes, because the Bible is so readily available in America, in the West, we start with knowing the Bible, and then hearing God's voice is an added extra, if anything at all. I mean, like, some people actively avoid hearing his voice, but even if it is something that we engage in, it's secondary. And I would say that God actually flips that hearing his voice is primary and knowing the scriptures is secondary. That also might offend some. And so in Exodus 15, where God specifically tells the Israelites, to listen to his voice and to obey his commands and statutes. This is before this commands and statutes were even written down. God hadn't given them to Moses written down yet. So, they didn't have scriptures. All they had was God's voice. And he still separates them. He says, listen to my voice and follow my commands. And both of those came through his voice. But I would say listen to his voice is more relational dynamic. And obeying him is obeying him. In order to obey him, we need to hear him. But so my point is that I would say from God's perspective that hearing his voice is actually primary before the scriptures. Yikes, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on that. So I mean, write it in the comments. Would love to hear why there will be an emotional pushback on that, because I know there will be. Give me verses on why one might say that scripture is more important than hearing God's voice.